All right, what is up? Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, and we are here. This is a special request fight on the channel, and this is requested by Turbo Riz. He wanted to see a rematch of Joe Louis versus Tommy Farr in their 1937 Classic. And in this bout, the real life bout, Joe Louis just won the title from James Braddock. I'd get it out one way or another. And Farr was his first defense, and a lot of people thought that he would have a fairly easy time with the Welshman, but Farr, tough as nails, he fought pretty much everybody that was around at the time and ended up giving Louis a much stiffer test than people anticipated. Went the 15-round distance, and Joe Louis actually had to come on later in the fight towards championship rounds to pull out the decision, which was still actually a very unpopular decision with the fans in attendance and actually soliciting more than just the standard Bronx cheer, generating a bunch of boos as well. So this was a very controversial fight for its day, but let's see if Louis is up to the task and if he can get Farr out of there, as many people expected him to in the real fight a lot earlier. So we're going to be ready to go, and waiting for my chat to come up. All right, here we go. So traits, Louis has the Hail Mary trait, meaning if he is trailing going into the last two rounds of the fight, he has a +1 to his power, a trait that, of course, helped him out against Billy Conn in their fight. And for his part, Tommy Farr, who fought very aggressive fight against Louis, he has a sprinter trait, though, and he likes to get inside, so either fighter, or neither fighter, I should say, will land blows if they have a toe-to-toe on the outside, using generic referees and judges. And stamina for both fighters for this 15-round clash is 100. So we're ready to go. And bell rings. Here we go. And fours for both. It's going to be Louis with 1 star on the inside. He's going to initiate a toe-to-toe exchange there. And 32 from the Brown Bomber on the inside. Peppers a jab, then a cross. 3 big punches get through for Louis. And firing back Farr, neither fighter has a knockdown chance. Louis just missed it. Farr lets the hands go on the inside and circling the ring, sniping away. 4 big punches get through for Farr. So a good exchange to start this opening round. As Farr surprises Louis, and the fighters circle. And we'll get that blue die in there. It's going to be a 1 for Farr, 6 for Louis. It's going to be Louis taking control from the inside. And Louis, 97 from the inside. That's going to be a potential foul. 14, it is no foul, but he will get a point. As we move to 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the opening stanza. Louis now working from the outside. This is going to be 2 stars and 3. 1 star inside for Tommy Farr. Louis in control. And Louis probing with the jab, lashing it out there, and then following up with a cross and a hook. 3 big punches get through for the Brown Bomber, and Farr eats all 3 of those. As we move into the 2-minute mark of the opening round here. Ensure my dice tray stays down. It's going to be 2 stars outside for Joe Louis once again, and no stars for Tommy Farr. So Joe Louis, and the advantage earlier here at 90 is going to be a miss, however, and Farr fires back, 2-punch counter, a cross and a hook. As the Welshman early on here is staying right with Joe Louis. And 3 on the inside. Louis is going to take that. He's going to miss. Farr tries to counter. Can't do it. Down to 1 minute, 20 seconds to go. Round number 1. Ones for both. It's going to be Lewis again, in control from the outside. 63. Lewis is going to miss. Farr tries to counter. Cannot. Final minute of the opening round. So we got off to a fast start. It's slowed down a little bit since then. But Lewis now looking to crank it up, works inside, takes control, lets the hands go. It's going to be a clinch. So 40 seconds to go on the round as Farr smothering Lewis. Does not want him to get that vaunted power off. Which who can blame him for that? All right, Joe Lewis again, 3 stars from the inside, 43. This time he's able to connect a jab and a cross gets through, followed by an uppercut. So Joe Lewis, 3 big punches land there as we go down to the final 20 seconds of the round. And 4 on the defensive check for Tommy Farr. He's actually going to take 1 of those punches away. Or my bad, that's actually not going to happen. Joe had a 19, so possible cut, and 4 on the cut. Tommy Farr, he is going to sustain some facial damage. So early on in this fight, Farr swelling around the left eye. So damage for the champion early in this fight as we move to the final segment of round number 1. Joe Lewis working inside, but Tommy Farr takes control from the outside, lets the hands go. 0-9, Tommy Farr again circling the ring, sniping away. 4 big punches get through, and as the bell rings, it's going to be a possible knockdown, but Joe Lewis, tough to get out of there, but he can be hurt. He takes that no problem as the round comes to a close. A dead even round, 10 punches each. So Tommy Farr, much like he did in the real life fight, off to a fast start here as we're going to go to the judges. All right. So far, a good start to this fight and a very even round, tough to choose according to our ringside experts as we are ready to go for round number 2. Fighters are up off their stools. Bell rings, referee motions both men forward. And the action resumes. All right, Joe Lewis going to be no stars from the outside. Tommy Farr working his way inside, lets the hands go. 31, and Lewis takes 3 punches there as Farr and just missed a possible knockdown on the Brown Bomber. Off to a quick start here in the second round. So can art imitate life, where Farr gives Lewis all he wants for 15 rounds? Happening that way so far. And Rizbo Turbide has joined us, and this is the matchmaker for this one. He requested the fight, and Farr off to a good start so far. It's going to be 2 stars inside for Lewis, 2 stars outside for Farr. Toe-to-toe from the outside. Farr leads it off. Farr's going to miss. Lewis fires back, and Lewis does not miss. Blistering 2-handed assault for the Brown Bomber. 5 big punches get through, and Lewis snatches momentum back. And Lewis now 2 stars from the outside once again, and Lewis in control, dancing around, misses. Farr tries to counter, cannot. 2 minutes to go in the second round. And Rizbo, is the volume and everything okay on this? I'm trying a new setup here, so I want to make sure everything sounds good and looks good. As Joe Lewis, 1 star from the inside, and he's in control. Lets the hands go, peppers a jab and a cross. 3 big punches get through for Lewis. And Lewis snatches momentum back as we move to 1:40 to go in the second round. Joe Lewis now stalking Farr. Farr on his toes, dancing around the outside. It's going to be Lewis in control. Lewis is going to miss, and Farr wings a looping right hand. Lewis ducks under that. Momentum still with the Brown Bomber as he resets at ring center. 1 star inside, no stars outside. Lewis in control, and again working that 3-punch combination. Starts it off with a jab, ends it with a cross, and Farr After a good first round and a good start to this round, the Brown Bombers come back and has taken control. We're going to be in a toe-to-toe mode. And again, Farr's trait, toe-to-toe on the outside, nobody lands. That's what's going to happen here as Farr not willing to engage the champion. It's going to be Joe Louis, 2 stars on the outside, and in control, Louis, 97. And 97 is going to get a punch home and a possible foul. Louis does not get the foul as we move to the final segment. Referee lets it go. Looked like a low blow to some, but it's got to be called. Here we go. Louis now looking to close around big. No stars from the outside and 1 star inside Tommy Farr. Tommy Farr closes strong. Circling the ring. 4 big punches get through for the tough Welshman as the round comes to an end. Bell rings and Farr has come close to a couple of knockdown chances. As Ben Crowbeard Fletton joins us at ringside. Welcome, my friend. So it's going to be a 5-punch differential in this round for the Brown Bomber. And should be a, well, could be a fairly comfortable round to him. After a very, very close first round, which was tough to choose for most of our ringside experts. All right, judges documenting their scorecards, trainers giving last-minute instructions as the fighters arise. We're ready to go. Round number 3, scheduled for 15 rounds, and Tommy Farr looking to shock the world and take the heavyweight championship away from the Brown Bomber Joe Louis. Here we go. We are underway. 1 star for Louis, and Tommy Farr in control from the outside. 66, he's going to miss. Louis can't counter as we are underway here in round number 3. Once again, Tommy Farr comes out and throws the first blows of bad intent. Joe Louis, it's going to be another 1-star result. Toe-to-toe from the inside. Tommy Farr is going to lead it off, and both fighters get to go here as Tommy Farr lets the hands go. 4 big punches get through and land against the champion. Joe Louis fires back. He'll have a possible cut if he lands. He does. 13. Blistering combination. 4 punches get through for the Brown Bomber and a possible cut. Now remember, Tommy Farr has already sustained swelling, so let's see if he gets anything new. He does. First of all, does the swelling worsen? 1 to 10, it does. So swelling around that left eye is starting to get a little bit worse here in round number 3. And that could play a factor. So swelling, really, once we get to the 3rd time, if it happens again, we are going to be faced with a potential stoppage, which is something nobody wants in this fight. As Farr, boring inside. 6s for both. It's going to be Louis in control from the inside, letting the hands go again. That's another 3-punch combination for the Brown Bomber. He leads it off with a jab and a possible knockdown. 1, no knockdown, but Farr is hurt. Tommy Farr staggers into the ropes. He is hurt. Louis, unopposed action. He's going to try and finish this one much earlier. Well, he didn't finish him in real life, so he's going to try and switch it up here, get him out of there. Joe Louis from the inside, and 82. Farr pulls him into a clinch. Smart of the Welshman. So Louis unable to take advantage of having Farr staggered. The tough Welshman, again, a very worthy challenger. And 1 star for Joe Louis. Tommy Farr now from the outside takes control. Tommy Farr lets the hands go, circling the ring, sniping away once again. 4 punches get through for the Welshman. And possible knockdown. 1, Louis 8 on the chin check. He's okay. So Farr has landed a couple of solid right hands. And in their actual real-life fight, Farr was able to hurt him a couple of times. 1 time with a big hook as the fight went on. So 4s for both. It's going to be a 1 star each, toe-to-toe from the inside. And leading this off is Tommy Farr. Masterful boxing, working levels. 3 big punches get through for the Welshman. Joe Louis firing back. And Louis, he's going to get through with 4 punches of his own. A 4-punch salvo down to a minute to go in the round. As Rizbo Turbide said, let's go Tommy. Farr rallying here in the 3rd round. Louis trying to staunch the assault, but Farr in control from the outside. 61, he just misses. Louis Wicked right hand over the top, and Farr ducks under that. That could have put the lights out. No damage, though, as we move to the final 40 seconds to go in this round. It's going to be 3 stars for Lewis. That automatic control result from the inside. 34, peppers a jab. Hook, cross, 3 punches get through for the Brown Bomber, and no knockdown chance. Lewis is really not outside of staggering Farr in this round. Has missed his power checks for the most part as we move to the final segment. 1 star for Joe Lewis. He's going to finish in control. He misses Farr, looks to fire back, and cross and a hook. 2 punches land for the Welshman as the round comes to an end. Another good action round. Both fighters in double figures punches landed in a close round. 1 punch differential for the champion. So let's see what our judges say to that. All right, scoring is tabulated, and fighters getting a final swig of water as the referee comes to ring center. Motions to both men to get up off their stools, and seconds out. Here we go. Round number 4. Bell rings. We're underway. Joe Lewis once again working from the outside with 2 stars and in control, but he's going to miss. Tommy Farr looks to counter. Misses with a hook. Just grazed the chin of the champion there. Lewis firing back, and Lewis, no stars. Tommy Farr in control from the outside. 85. He's going to miss as well, though. Lewis dancing out of range there. And again, Joe Lewis occasionally had lapses in his defense, as you can see by the +2 result here on a 5 on the defense check. But he works inside now, and he's going to take control there. Lets the hands go on the inside. Snaps a jab, followed by a cross. 2 punches get through for Lewis. Possible knockdown, and 8. Farr eats that. No damage on the chin check. So again, Farr hurt in the 3rd round. He also has swelling over the left eye. It happened in the 1st, got worse in the 3rd. 5s for both. Toe-to-toe outside, and that would have been a good exchange. But the sprinter trait comes into effect. No punches land. Lewis, frustrated, stalks Farr. It's going to be toe-to-toe from the outside again, and same result. No punches land. Lewis with momentum, stalking Farr, and 3 stars on the inside. This is all Joe Lewis. Traps him in the corner, lets the hands go. A stiff jab followed by a cross and a hook. 3 big punches get through on the Welshman, and a 3. Farr is able to take one of those away, gets his hand up to block the final punch in that salvo. So Tommy Farr showing some good defense there. Lewis, though, trying to keep him trapped in the corner. He's got it inside, and 93 on the inside. That is going to be a clinch. So Farr not going to get lulled into this phone booth warfare as he makes the referee separate the 2. 40 seconds left in the round. Joe Lewis, 3 stars again. A dominant round this time for Lewis in terms of control, but he misses, and Farr tries an uppercut, falls short. Lewis closing the distance down. It's going to be 1 star, 1 star, toe-to-toe exchange from the inside. Joe Lewis goes first, 54. Gets through with a couple of punches, and this has not been the most action-packed round. Lewis is going to have a possible knockdown, though. Farr fires back, 31, and Tommy Farr gets through with his first significant punches of the round. 3, but now he's got to make a chin check. So 6 or less, he's hurt, and if he's hurt, he's okay. He's going to be saved by the bell. He eats those shots comfortably, though. A 3-point round for the champion, Joe Lewis. And the crowd a little bit restless after that round. Worst action of the fight. Only 9 punches landed between the 2 combatants here. So 3-punch differential. All right, judges have their scoring in. Stamina-wise, as we head to the 5th round, we are a third of the way through this. Lewis 67 and Farr 58. Still pretty close there. No issues with that as fighters now. Off the stools, we're ready to go. Round number 5. Here we go. The fighters meet at ring center, and Tommy Farr again. He starts quicker here, in control, but he's going to miss. Lewis cranks the hands. That's a hook and a stiff counter shot right hand over the top of Farr's guard. And Lewis with momentum. And 3, no stars for Lewis. It's going to be 1 star inside. Tommy Farr in control, but Farr misses. And again, Lewis showing some good counter-punching skills. 2 more punches get through, this time a hook and an uppercut. So Lewis maintains momentum as Farr unable to capitalize on his offensive opportunities. 1 star inside and 2 stars outside for Tommy Farr. Tommy Farr in control, just misses with a whistling right hand. Lewis counters him again. A jab and a cross get through. So 3 consecutive counters landed for Lewis. And he's choosing to box the Welshman now and doing a fine job of it. Lewis now presses the action inside, but it's going to be toe-to-toe. Lewis goes first. And Lewis lets the hands go from the inside. 39. Peppers a jab and a cross. 3 punches get through. Tommy Farr looking to fire back. Lewis will have a potential knockdown. Farr a potential cut if he lands. 52, and he just misses. So another chin check coming up for Tommy Farr. And 2. Tommy Farr is down. He hits the canvas. Joe Lewis in the 5th round has put him down. Referee moves in to count, and Farr is tough. He's got a beard on him, but 2 or less, this is over. And 4, he barely staggers back to his feet. It's going to be a 9 count there, and using the optional 9 count rule, Lewis is now going to have 2 unopposed segments, and that does not bode well for the challenger. So, minute 40 to go. Lewis, as Farr is hurt bad and backed up into the corner. Joe Lewis comes forward, and he's going to try and end this right here. Lewis working on the inside, and 16 lets the hands go. 4 big punches get through for the Brown Bomber, and it's going to take a will check now as referee looking to stop it. 7 or less, it's over. 12, Tommy Farr stands up, but Lewis, another unopposed segment coming up. Can Farr survive? He's in a world of hurt, world of trouble. 33, once again, Lewis, this time from the outside, and that's 3 more big punches getting through for Joe Lewis. Another will check for Tommy Farr, and can he survive again? 18, he does. What is keeping him up? As Farr, with a minute to go in the round, grabs on and finally looks to clear his head. Wow. Tommy Farr in a world of hurt. His corner looked on the verge of throwing in the towel. They're going to let it go, though, as Lewis looks to close him down. No stars for Joe Lewis. And Tommy Farr rallies back from the outside, but 83, and he is going to miss. Joe Lewis misses on the counter. So Farr, definitely a courageous fighter, but this has been a rough round for him as Lewis looks to punctuate what has been a very strong round for the champion. Lewis in control from the outside, and 50 from the outside. Jab followed by a cross. 2 big punches get through for Joe Lewis, and no knockdown opportunity there as we move to the final 20 seconds of the 5th round. A big round for the champion. The fans still on their feet. Lewis, 2 stars inside. Takes control and tries to close around with a bang. 3 more punches get through, up to 21 now for the champion. A definite 10-8 round. He's going to have a possible cut, and 10. Farr survives with no more facial damage. Round comes to an end, but what a round for the champion, Joe Lewis, in what had been a close fight through the first 4 rounds. Just put the pedal to the metal and battered Tommy Farr in that round. 21 punches getting through. Farr on the deck. Somehow he survived 2 unopposed segments, and the crowd applauds his heart as Farr slumps on his stool, his corner trying to encourage him. And in the other corner, Lewis's corner, trying to exhort him to finish his man here. Round number 6, we're underway. 15 rounds for Joe Lewis heavyweight championship, and Lewis in control from the inside. 81, that's going to be a miss. Tommy Farr looking to counter, can't do it. The champion now stalking his prey, and Tommy Farr. He's going to get 1 star, 2 stars inside for Lewis, though. Lewis takes control. 42, lets the hands go. Peppers a jab and a cross, but Farr able to get his hands up, and he blocks one of those, so 2 punches get through for the Brown Bomber. Stamina could be a real issue after that big round for Lewis. Tommy Farr now down to 37 stamina points. Does not look good for him there. But Farr fighting all the way to the end. Comes inside, tries to take control. Lewis ties him up. Farr unable to land. Lewis now pushing Farr back into the ropes. Referee separates them. Once again, Joe Lewis 1 star. It's going to be Joe Lewis in control from the inside. 53, snaps a jab, followed by a cross. 2 big punches get through for the champion. Tommy Farr takes him and smiles. Blood starting to trickle from his mouth here. A slightly torn lip as Joe Lewis working inside once again. 24, and again a 3-punch salvo. A big right hand closes that off, and Joe Lewis has to wonder what's keeping Tommy Farr up after that. But the Welshman keeps coming forward. Lewis meets him ring center. Neither fighter backing up. It's going to be a toe-to-toe from the inside. The champion leads it off. Combinations from all angles for the Brown Bomber. 4 big punches get through. Tommy Farr fires back valiantly. Double zeros. Lets the hands go. And 5 big punches get through for the Welshman. And the crowd roars its approval as Tommy Farr snatches momentum back with that exchange. Can he take advantage now? Lewis 1 star from the inside, but Lewis taking control right back. Misses. Tommy Farr looking to counter. He misses as well. 40 seconds to go in the round. Joe Lewis looking to close it out. 4s for both. Toe-to-toe, and this is going to be Tommy Farr leading it off. I'm sorry, Joe Lewis leads it off. 13, and that's going to be combinations from angles again. 4 more big punches get through for Lewis. And it's going to be another possible knockdown. Possible knockdowns for both men, actually. Can Farr land? He can. 24. What an exchange as Tommy Farr. 3 big punches get through. Masterful boxing now. And first the chin check for Farr. Both fighters landing bombs. Can Farr stand up? 11. He does. What about the champion? Can he get to the champion? 16. Lewis eats it as well. And the crowd is going crazy. What an exchange there as we move into the final 20 seconds of the round. Tommy Farr and Lewis meet at ring center. Neither man taking a step back. It's going to be toe-to-toe from the outside, and they circle as the bell rings due to that sprinter trait. So good round, good action round for both men. Farr bouncing back from that disastrous 5th round where he hit the deck. Good accounting of himself, but that was a round that Lewis controlled for the most part. 7-punch differential, and should be a fairly solid round going to the champion. So Lewis, he's put together 2 very good rounds in a row. Of course, the knockdown. Tommy Farr's got some work to do as you move into round number 7, and Farr, more important than anything, is down to 22 stamina. Lewis, the champion, still at 59. As the crowd catches their breath between rounds here, it is really heating up inside the squared circle. Joe Lewis looking to give the fans their money's worth. Tommy Farr is not backing down. Here we go. Round number 7. Closing in on the halfway point of the fight. Bell rings, fighters meet, toe-to-toe outside, and that sprinter trait comes into play. As Farr circles, Farr likes to get inside and mix it up. Does not like to engage in the outside toe-to-toe. Joe Lewis now, 2 stars outside. Takes control and lets the hands go from the outside. 59, that is going to be a miss by the Brown Bomber. Tommy Farr looking to counter, though. He gets through with a couple of shots. Good counter to Joe's attack there as Tommy Farr slipped under that right hand to land a hook to the body, uppercut upstairs. Joe Lewis, 3 stars, though, snatches control from the inside. He's always going to win that one. Peppers a jab and a cross. 3 big punches get through for the champion. Possible knockdown, and Farr, again, showing a resilient chin. He has, of course, been down in the 5th, but he has taken some shots that would have put other men to sleep and stayed upright. 2 stars inside for the Brown Bomber. It's going to be a toe-to-toe inside. Lewis goes first. Lewis misses. Farr fires back. Farr with a possible knockdown. If he lands, he does. Lets the hands go. 4 big punches get through for the challenger. Lewis now has to make a chin check. And we have an upset in the making. 17. No, Lewis takes another big punch from Farr. That one a bristling left hook. He stands firm though. Farr with momentum. It's going to be 3 stars though for Lewis. He takes that momentum right back. And 3 punches from the inside get through for the Brown Bomber. Farr eats them all. Keeps coming forward. Absolutely no quit in the Welshman at all. Lewis working though, works inside and lets the hands go. 18 combinations from all angles. 4 big punches get through for the Brown Bomber. 5 on the defensive roll, and he's going to take away 2 of those. Good defense by the Welshman there as Tommy Farr looks to counter him. Hey, I appreciate that, Risbo. Yeah, Tommy Farr, very, very tough fighter and underrated. He fought everybody. Of course, he lost quite a few fights, as you see here. 85 and 35 and 19. But he never, ever backed away from a challenge and gave everybody he fought a good battle. So Joe Lewis experiencing a little bit of that now as he takes control from the inside. Misses Farr, looks to counter, throws a hook, and then decides to grab Joe Lewis into a clinch. Farr hoping to get to the championship rounds with some stamina still in the tank, but Joe Lewis is going to make that hard. Pressing the action from the inside, another big, blistering two-handed assault for the champion. 5 big punches get through. Lewis just missed a knockdown chance there. 20 seconds to go in the round. Farr is a warrior, showing lots of heart and resiliency. 2 stars, toe-to-toe on the inside. Lewis goes first, 90. He doesn't even want to play with Farr there. He wraps him up as the round comes to a close. And he's content to take his handiwork up to that point. A 13-6 punch differential. So 7 punches there. As fighters now getting their final instructions before round number 8. Let's check in as we hit the halfway point of this at the punch stats so far. So through 7 rounds, Tommy Farr has landed 47 punches, Joe Lewis 91. And of course, that was bolstered by that dominating 5th round. Actually could have almost given that as a 10-7 round to Lewis. Lewis showing a good work rate. He's been in double figures in 6 of 7 rounds. Tommy Farr only in double figures in 2 of 7 rounds. But, again, there's been some close rounds in there that could go either way, especially early. Well, only early in the fight. It's been pretty much Joe Lewis since then, but we are ready to go now. Round number 8, fighters up off their stools. Here we go. Bell rings. And Joe Lewis charges on the inside. It's going to be toe-to-toe where Farr meets him. 35 for the champion. And again, working that jab to set up the hook and the cross. 3 big punches get through for Joe Lewis. Tommy Farr fires back. 47, just misses there. And Joe Lewis with momentum. And Farr, a big looping right hand again. That would have probably hurt Lewis, but unable to connect. It's going to be Lewis 1 star on the inside. Tommy Farr 2 stars outside. The Welshman in control. Misses. Lewis tries to counter. And wow, a big cross follows a hook. 2 punches get through on the countering opportunity for Lewis. And the champion takes momentum back. It's going to be 2 stars inside. Lewis in control. 51 on the inside. Lewis, an offensive juggernaut, gets through with 2 punches and Farr eats them both. 2 more punches land and Tommy Farr will be out of endurance. He does not want that to happen, but it's going to happen right now. From the outside, Lewis 0-8. Combinations from angles again. 4 big punches get through for the champion, and Tommy Farr goes to his fatigue ratings. Not good for him as Lewis dominating here in the 8th round. Could this be the round he stops him in? So adjustments. Farr's power goes to a 1. His chin KD goes to 4.7. Chin KO 4. Both still fairly solid, especially for fatigue. But the will, that goes up to 11. And that could come into play for sure if Lewis can hurt him again. Lewis now looking to take advantage from the outside. Dancing around. A jab. Cross, hook, 3-punch combination gets through. The classic 1-2-3, and Tommy Farr helpless to defend himself there, and his corner urging him on. It looks like his chief second is up on the ring step. He's got the white towel in his hand. Surely you can't throw it in on this warrior as Lewis once again in control from the inside. 47, Lewis snaps a jab and a cross up to 20 punches landed. Possible knockdown, 12, and Farr eats another big right hand. Tommy Farr. You cannot state enough how tough he is in this fight. 2 stars as Lewis works inside again, looking to end this one. Peppers a jab and a cross. 3 big punches land. We are getting dangerously close to TKO territory. But a 3 on the defense. Tommy Farr takes one away. That could be a big defensive move right there as Lewis up to 22 punches now. Getting up to TKO range. It's going to be Lewis from the inside. 1 star. Tommy Farr, though, he's got fight in him. From the outside, 69. He's going to miss, but Lewis counters. 2 punches get through for the champion. And Tommy Farr, final segment of the round. Referee looking close. Farr's corner. Are they going to stop this? Up on the ring apron. 6s for both. It's going to be Lewis from the inside. 69. He misses. Would have been a knockdown. Would have resulted in a TKO check. But Farr grabs on as the round comes to an end. An overwhelmingly dominant round for the champion, Joe Lewis. 20 plus, and we are looking at a potential 10-8 round there. So definitely a round, no arguing there that round went to the champion for sure. As Tommy Farr stymied and Lewis now firmly in control. Farr, he's going to be lucky to make the distance this time as he did in real life. This was about the time in real life that Lewis turned it around in their fight. And Farr pressed hard in the championship rounds, and he thought he needed a knockdown to win at that point by his own account, and he took it to the champion in the later rounds. It just was not enough. He's going to need more than that today, though, as fighters getting their final instructions as round number 9 looms. Bell rings, here we go. And Tommy Farr plodding forward, and it's going to be inside. Both fighters meet. Lewis takes control, lets the hands go. Combinations from angles, a blistering 4-punch salvo there. Lewis now pressing the action. Tommy Farr barely able to see out of that left eye. It was swollen since round number 1. Lewis sniping away, works from the outside, and Tommy Farr, 1 star on the inside. It's going to be Lewis taking control. He misses. Farr looks to counter, can't do it. So in addition to the increased will and chin ratings, Farr also, of course, because he's fatigued, will have 1 punch deducted from each one that he lands, and that's not going to help his cause. It's going to be a outside result for Lewis in control, and Tommy Farr dances out of trouble. 2 minutes to go, round number 9. Fans shouting for Joe Lewis to finish him, and 2 stars from the inside. Lewis looks to oblige, ducks in. Combinations from angles again. 4 big shots get through for the champion. Tommy Farr takes all of them, and he has taken a pounding. Lewis, at this stage of the fight, well over 100 punches landed, 115 after that last segment to be exact. Toe-to-toe from the outside, Tommy Farr dancing away. He wants to get inside, not going to engage the champion there. Unfortunately, in the last few rounds, he has not had much luck engaging him anywhere. Lewis takes control from the inside. 80, misses. Farr tries to counter, can't do it. Minute to go in the 9th round. And after the onslaught in round number 8, you wouldn't have thought that Farr would still be on his feet, but he is, and he's still fighting. But Lewis, again, taking control, and a blistering two-handed assault from the inside. 5 big punches get through for the champion. Lewis, another big round. Farr, unable to get any offense off. Lewis has just taken control after the first half of the fight was close. Our first 4 rounds, he has just taken over at this point. 2 stars on the inside. It's going to be a toe-to-toe from the inside. Lewis goes first. 2 punches get through. Jab followed by a cross. Tommy Farr now looking to catch a miracle. Both fighters will have cut checks if Farr can land, and Farr cannot. So Farr's got to make a cut check, and again, that's swelling. 19, he's okay though. No further damage to the eye or anywhere else. Last segment of the round, Lewis looking to finish strong once again. Tommy Farr just looking to finish. Lewis from the outside. 38 and a jab, cross, hook. 3 big punches get through for the champion. And Tommy Farr with a good defense, even tired, is going to take one of those away. But another huge round for Joe Lewis. And this is a bloodbath. Without the blood, of course, at this point. And no way in the world anybody could give that round to Tommy Farr. Joe Lewis pulling away. Tommy Farr needs a miracle. Lewis still has 53 stamina left. As the last 3 rounds, Tommy Farr has landed a total of 6 punches. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. He's got to get something going here. He looked so much sharper earlier on. Here we go. 3s for both. Toe-to-toe from the outside, and Joe Lewis, actually, never mind. Toe-to-toe from the outside. Sprinter trait kicks in. No punches will be exchanged. So Tommy Farr does have that going for him at this point. Lewis from the outside, though, in control now. 51, just misses. Farr tries to counter, can't do it. Neither fighter landing a blow. 40 seconds into the round. And I have to retrieve that one moment. Okay, we'll just do a complete re-roll there. Lewis trying to back Farr into the corner, and 1s for both. Outside, Lewis in control. He's going to have a possible knockdown. Lets the hands go. 31, 3 punches land, and Tommy Farr once again showing that Welch toughness as he eats those punches. No issues on the chin check. Lewis resets. 2 stars from the outside, and Lewis is just sniping away now from the outside. 96. That's going to be a single punch landed, a possible foul check. 13, no foul there. Minute 40 to go in the round. Tommy Farr now, 1 star from the inside for Lewis. 2 stars outside, and some life from the Welshman now. Masterful boxing, working levels. He's going to get credit for 2 punches landing there. Joe Lewis takes them both, and the crowd cheers on Tommy as he tries valiantly to fight back here late in this one. It's going to be Lewis again, though, in control from the inside. 94 from the inside. That's going to be a clinch. Lewis talking to Farr in that clinch, and Farr smiles, pats Lewis on the head, so obviously some respect there from the champion, as it's going to be Joe Lewis again from the outside. 2 stars in control, dancing around the ring, missing. Farr tries to counter, just does not have the energy. So a slower round as Lewis coasting here, conserving his energy for the championship rounds. 1 star for the champion. That's enough to take control on the inside. He's going to miss, and Farr grabs on, and that exchange comes to a close. Final 20 seconds of the round as Joe Lewis once again working outside, dancing around. Tommy Farr on the inside. Lewis in control, 97. And 97 is going to be another single punch. Another possible foul on the champion, 6. And he is okay, no foul. Round comes to an end. Tommy Farr gets off the schneid after 2 rounds where he basically landed no significant punches. Makes it a close round, 3-punch differential. This is a round Tommy Farr could possibly steal even. We shall see, as we have 10 rounds in the books and we are heading for the championship rounds at this point. All right, judges have their scoring down, and fighters. Tommy Farr looking to get that extra breath on his stool prior to this round. Round 11 is ready to go. As we enter the championship rounds, can Tommy Farr once again go the distance with the champion? Albeit not quite as close a fight this time as it was when they met in real life, but here we go. Joe Louis works inside. It's going to be a toe-to-toe exchange from the inside. Lets the hands go. 3 punches land for the champion, Tommy Farr. And a possible knockdown for Louis as well. Tommy Farr, 49 on the inside. Just misses, but he's got to make a chin check now. 7 or less, he's in trouble. 17, Tommy Farr is tough. Most men would not stand up to that. Louis now. Pushes on, works inside, takes control, lets the hands go again. 3-punch combination lands once again. This time a hook, snaps the head back of Farr, closing the salvo. Possible knockdown, 19, and Farr on the chin check, eats it again. So Tommy Farr, and he did look a mess after their actual fight in 1937 as well. He's going to look just as brutal today, but he has taken some shots and stood up as the champion again, works inside. And this time, 31, Joe Louis gets through. 3-punch combination lands. Possible knockdown, 1, chin check, 1. Farr hits the deck again. Second time he has gone down in the fight here in round number 11. Surely he cannot survive 4 or less. This fight's over. Let's see if Farr still has that Welsh fighting spirit. 18, he's back up on his feet. Unbelievable. And he's up quickly too. Count of 1, but Louis now, he is going to have an unopposed segment and plenty of time to finish this. So let's see if he can score 3 punches, and he's going to miss. Farr is going to survive and gets his senses back about him. But down for the second time in this fight, and some in the audience now are screaming for Farr's corner to stop it. And Tommy Farr shakes his head. 2 stars on the inside. It's going to be toe-to-toe. Louis leads it off. Combinations from angles. 4 big punches get through. Tommy Farr fighting brilliantly. And this is going to be a possible knockdown because Farr has already been down once in this round. And double zeros. Tommy Farr, a 5-punch salvo there. He's going to get credit for 4 of them, but he's got to make another chin check here. Can he survive? 7, he's hurt. He is hurt. Tommy Farr backs into the ropes, even though he got the better of that exchange. Joe Louis got the hardest punch in, and he's closing in now to try and finish the job. And 3, it's going to take place from the outside. Possible cut, but worse than that. 10, 4-punch combination, and that's going to prompt another will check. So first we will check the cut on Tommy Farr. 17, he's good. Now we'll check 11 or less. It's over. 13, somehow Farr is still on his feet. Referee looked like he was ready to stop the fight, but he lets him go on. Unbelievable. Joe Louis working inside now. 31 on the inside, and Louis peppering Tommy Farr. 20 punches landed now in the round to 4 for Farr. Louis is absolutely dominating here late in the fight. Tommy Farr trying to finish the round strong, but Joe Louis with a 3-star result on the inside. 34, peppers a jab and across. 3 more big punches get through for the champion, and the bell rings mercifully. Tommy Farr slumps back to his corner. Louis, a decisive round. 19-punch differential there. And that could be, it's a definite 10-9 round. It could be a 10-8 round. You could definitely make a case for that. So round number 12, and the crowd Seems like now the betting money at ringside is on whether or not Farr can finish this fight upright on his feet. Lewis has just taken over the second half of the fight and is mauling him. Here we go. Threes for both, and it's going to be a toe-to-toe exchange from the outside. And again, Tommy Farr's sprinter trait saves some damage there. Lewis, though, not content to give up, presses the action, but Tommy Farr takes control from the inside. 13. 4 big punches get through, gets credit for 3 due to fatigue. Man, and Lewis eats those. So Tommy Farr trying to close strong. He's got to go for the Hail Mary. Unfortunately, he does not have that trait. Joe Lewis does. Toe-to-toe from the outside. Tommy Farr leads it off. 98, Tommy Farr. And because he's fatigued, he doesn't get credit for a punch, but a foul check, no foul there. And actually, never mind, that is no action. That's toe-to-toe outside. So Tommy Farr's trait comes into play once again. Lewis from the outside, 2 stars. And Lewis in control now, 0-8. Combinations from angles, 4 big shots get through from the bomber. And Tommy Farr shakes his head, presses forward. Joe Lewis looking at him in amazement. How is this man standing still? Lewis from the outside, 2 stars in control. 64 misses. Would have been another possible knockdown. Tommy Farr paws back weakly with a jab. Lewis steps out of the way of that. 3 for Joe Lewis on the roll. That's going to be no stars outside. Toe-to-toe. And that's on the outside. No action takes place. Once again, the sprinter trait of Farr. It's going to be a 6 for Joe Lewis, working inside. And the Brown Bomber, 97. He's going to get credit for a punch. Another possible foul. And this time, referee is... Oh, no. Lewis is not going to get caught there. So, looked like a low blow, but they're going to let this one go. Final 40 seconds of the round. Joe Lewis, 2 stars, and 1 star for Tommy Farr from the outside. Lewis lets the hands go. 2 jabs in a row, followed by a quick right hand, piercing the guard. Possible knockdown. 12 on the chin check. Farr eats it again. Tommy Farr has taken unbelievable punishment as the last 20 seconds of round number 12 tick away. It's going to be Lewis from the outside, no stars. Tommy Farr, 1 star inside. He's going to finish the round big. Lets the hands go. 4 punches get through, reduced to 3 due to fatigue as the round comes to a close. So Tommy Farr, actually a good accounting. That is easily his best round in standing up to Lewis since, my goodness, probably the 6th. So 2-punch differential, and this is another round that Tommy could possibly steal. Not that it's going to do him any good at this point, guys. He needs an absolute knockout for sure to take this fight. All right, 2-punch differential and the rolls. All right. All right, we have 3 rounds to go, 12 rounds in the books. Joe Lewis. Let's check our stats up to this point. And again, started off a very competitive fight, but Joe Lewis has shown why. He is the champion of the world. Very lethargic in the real-life fight. Not the case tonight in the Glory Days boxing ring. Joe Lewis, through 12 rounds, 168 punches landed. Tommy Farr, not quite close to that. He's looking to crack 60 in this round. Here we go. Bell rings, and Joe Lewis once again comes out working inside. But Tommy Farr takes control from the outside and fires away, but misses both punches. Lewis fakes a counter and does not follow through. He knows he has this in the bag. He's not going to get drawn into anything foolish, as it's going to be 2 stars from the outside. Lewis in control, and again, misses, and Tommy Farr unable to counter. Joe Lewis again, 3 stars from the inside now, 68. He's going to miss. That would have been a possible knockdown. Tommy Farr ties him up. So the action slowing considerably here in the last 3 rounds. or at least in this one, as Joe Louis once again works outside. It's going to be that sprinter trait kicking in, toe-to-toe outside, no action. Of course, Lewis's Hail Mary trait will not be needed in this fight as he has a comfortable lead according to everyone at ringside, hopefully the judges too. 1 star inside for the Brown Bomber, and it's going to be 2 stars outside for Tommy Farr. Tommy Farr, he is not done yet. 3 punches get through for the Welshman. And Joe Louis, those are the first blows landed in this round of any significance. Louis, who's been a punching machine in this fight so far, content to take it easy and stay on the outside. And he's there again, 2 stars. Louis lets the hands go 59 from the outside. He's going to miss. Would have been another possible knockdown for the champ. Farr presses forward, fighting to the end. 1 star for Joe Louis. 2 stars outside for Tommy Farr. And Tommy Farr, a resurgence here in the late rounds. 3 more big punches get through for the Welshman. And a 5 on Joe Louis's defense. That's that one quirky defensive role. He's going to add 2. So Tommy Farr decisively up, but the Brown Bomber, all he needs is a small opening. See if he can close it in the final 40 seconds here. It's going to be 1 star, 2 stars from the outside for Louis. Louis in control, and 89 from the outside. He is going to miss. Tommy Farr looking to counter, and Tommy Farr gets home with a single right hand on the counter opportunity. Last 20 seconds of the round. The crowd cheering Farr now as he has had a good round. Louis, not much to speak of. 2 stars outside, and 2 stars outside, toe-to-toe, no action. Bell rings, and a good round for Tommy Farr. 9 punches and 0 for Joe Louis. And of course, the optional rule there, which I always use. You don't land a punch, you don't get a judge's roll. So that is going to be a round that goes definitively to Tommy Farr. And that might have been his first round since much earlier in the fight, say around the 4th. So Tommy Farr saving some dignity here late. A good round there. And Joe Louis talking comfortably in his corner. Just says he wasn't going to get drawn into a slugfest. He knows he has this in the bag, content to go the distance apparently as round 14 gets underway. Toe-to-toe, and it's going to be toe-to-toe from the inside. Tommy Farr is going to lead this bad boy out. 99, and we are going to the event chart. Uh-oh. It is up on the screen here. 33. I'm going to have to squint. Fighters continue to brawl after the bell sounds, so that's going to come into play after the round ends. So we'll have some little bit of chippiness at the end of this round. As fighters now talking to each other, apparently not so cordial as it was earlier. It's going to be deuces for both, and that's Joe. This is a leaner. Tap. Yep, 0. And 0-8, Joe. Combinations from angles. 4 big punches get through for the Bomber. Tommy Farr takes him, and Farr apparently still upset from that last exchange. Barks at Louis again. Louis motions him to come in. It's going to be 2 stars for Joe Louis from the outside. Louis in control, 97. And that is going to be a single punch landed and another potential foul that the referee is going to let go. Farr's corner is screaming. He had him behind the head and was pulling him forward, hitting him. But the referee ignores their cries. It's going to be 2 stars inside for Louis. Louis in control. 2 punches get through for the Brown Bomber, and taking both of those is Farr. 140 to go. It looks like Tommy Farr might make it the distance in this fight, and if you had said that around the 11th round, I would have said absolutely not. Even the 8th. What's up, Mark Jones, joining us at ringside? Tommy Farr got off to a good start. It was competitive, but Joe Louis is pouring it on now late in the fight. 2 stars from the outside for the champion, and he misses. Tommy Farr counters a single punch for the Welshman, gets through. And of course, being fatigued, -1 from the counter punch as well. 120 to go in round number 14. Joe Louis now, he's going to be in control. 3 stars from the outside, 17 and more. 4-punch combination from angles, get through. Possible cut, and 6. Just missed another cut opportunity. And of course, Farr's had severe swelling around his left eye since the third round. Started to swell in the first. As Joe Louis now is going to get 2 stars from the outside. Tommy Farr, 1 star inside. Louis in control. Louis misses. Farr grabs on. He is absolutely fatigued at this point. Louis still looks like he could go another 5 rounds after the distance here. As Joe Louis, no stars. Tommy Farr, 1 star inside. 57 misses. Louis looking to counter, and a big right hand just bounces off the top of Farr's head. Not a scoring punch. Final 20 seconds of the round. 2 stars inside. It's going to be toe-to-toe from the inside. Joe Louis leads it off. 53. 2 punches get through for the bomber, and Tommy Farr looking to close around strong. 10, and Tommy Farr, 3 punches of his own and a possible cut. So Louis now has to be wary of that. He does not cut very easily, though. 20, he's okay. Round comes to an end. Worst thing that could happen here is an unintentional clash of heads or a cut gash been caused by a punch that results in the stoppage. That would be something, but Louis dodges that bullet. 9 punch differential. And the judges scribble away in their scorebooks, and we are going to go into the final round here, round number 15. Tommy Farr, he gave Louis a battle in real life. He's hanging tough to the end here. Round number 15. Fighters come to ring center. Referee congratulates both on a solid fight. The fighters touch gloves, and of course been admonished after that last round, both given warnings for going after the bell, but all seems to be forgiven now as final round is underway. And Joe Louis, 2 stars, 2 stars. It's going to be a toe-to-toe. Louis leads it off from the inside, misses. Tommy Farr firing back from the inside, 12. He does not. 4 punch combination reduced to 3 due to fatigue. Tommy Farr is going to try and close strong, and the crowd behind Tommy Farr, as you hear alternating chants for the champion and the Welshman. Back and forth they go. The fans, of course, approving of Joe Louis's skill and Farr's toughness. It's going to be Louis, though, from the outside in control, 40. And that's going to be a nice 2-punch combination, a brisk jab and a strong cross. 7, just missed a knockdown chance there. Joe Louis now, 2 stars from the outside, and that's going to be a sprinter trait coming into play. No punches land, as Tommy Farr, again, does not like to engage outside. He likes the rough action on the inside. Joe Louis, 2 stars outside, 2 stars outside again, no action. And both fighters seem to be trying to catch their breath to have a final flurry here. It's going to be Joe Louis working inside and toe-to-toe from the inside. Here it comes. Joe Louis leads it off. Actually, that's going to be Tommy Farr because he had control on the last one because he landed more punches. So Tommy Farr leads it off from the outside, 0-4. 4 punches get through, reduced to 3. And possible cut on the champion. Joe Louis fires back, 37. And that's going to be a 3-punch combination for the champion. But again, we don't want to get a gash at this stage of the fight. Joe Louis, 6. And barely okay there. 140 to go in the fight. Tommy Farr, another good round. He's had solid rounds, 2 of the last 3. And it's going to be no stars. Tommy Farr, toe-to-toe, but it's from the outside. Sprinter trait kicks in, no action. Shame for Tommy. He had a good roll on the offensive dice there. It's going to be a 1 star inside, and Tommy Farr, 2 stars outside. Farr in control, 96. And 96 is going to be a possible foul. 17, no foul. No punch credited. Final minute of the fight, and the crowd very appreciative of these 2 warriors in this one. Joe Louis looking to close strong from the inside. 0-4, blistering 2-handed assault. The Brown Bomber pours it on. It's going to be a possible cut. 7 and no cut. 40 seconds left in the fight. Joe Louis looking to put an exclamation point on a very solid performance against the tough as nails Tommy Farr. No stars though for Louis, and Tommy Farr not done yet. 88, he misses. Louis tries to counter and just misses a right hand. Last 20 seconds of the fight. Crowd on their feet, cheering. Here they go. And 2 stars outside. Joe Louis in control, closing strong, and a 4-punch combination lands as the bell rings, and the fighters embrace a good final round. 14-6 is the punch tally in that one. So Tommy Farr did not go away as the judges now look to complete their scorecards. 8-punch differential. All right, let's recap as Ben Crowbeard Fletton says, come on, Tommy. He gave it the old college try, but came up just short. So before we read the scorecards, big round of applause for both men. So final punch stats, Joe Louis was an offensive machine in this fight. Absolutely. 195 punches landed through the 15-round distance. He had a good work rate throughout. And in case you're doing the math, that's about 13 punches landed per round. Tommy Farr showed good in the championship rounds, but he had some rough rounds in the middle of the fight, and he ends up with only 78 punches landed. He was down twice, swelling on the left eye. Both men warned once for brawling after the bell in the 14th. So here we go. Judges have collected their scorecards. Bell rings, and ladies and gentlemen, one more time, a round of applause for both brave warriors. After 15 rounds of fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship, we have a unanimous decision. Judge 1 scores at 147-136. Judge 2, 147-139. And Judge 3, 147-137. All for your winner and still heavyweight champion of the world, the Brown Bomber, Joe Louis. So a rematch of their 1937 battle, and in that fight, Farr showed an equal amount of courage and heart as he did in this one. A closer decision, however. Louis, many people thought he was lucky to get away with the decision in that fight, but he put an exclamation point on this one and left no doubt. 2 knockdowns, battering Tommy Farr. Farr, beyond his courage, not much else to give. After the first 4 rounds, Joe Louis just took control and grinded him down. So want to thank, Risbo Turbide for suggesting this fight, the matchmaker here. Thanks to Ben Crowbeard Fletton for stopping by, as well as Mark Jones. Appreciate you all checking this fight out. Next Thursday, we will be back with our normal Time Machine Boxing Union, our normally scheduled card there. So look forward to that. We have a title defense in that one, Evander Holyfield against Big John Tate. Not Evander Holyfield, Peter Jackson against Big John Tate. And should be, Jackson will be heavily favored in that one, but you never know. John is a good boxer. We'll see what happens. And look this weekend for another edition of Dead Ball Diaries. Been a while, actually a few months since I've done one of those, so there's still more stories in the glory of the times to talk about and listen to. So we're going to get back to a Dead Ball Diaries requested by our good friend of the channel, Beatles Eternally. So hope you all have a great night. Thanks for stopping by. Hit that like button on the way out, guys, and we'll talk to you later. Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming. We'll see ya.